Can you beat Elden Ring as the enemy character Esdeath? Starting with the rules. Rule 1. I have to make my character look as close as possible to the original, which means I only can use clothes that look somewhat like the originals. Rule 2. I have to beat all the remembrance bosses with 2 small exceptions, but I'm going to come to that later in the video. And the last rule is that I only can use weapons and sorceries that represent her true abilities. Now that the rules are out of the way, I made a new game, named myself Esdeath, and designed my new character to look as close as possible to the original. I gave myself the typical long light blue hair and the blue eyes. The clothes I would find on the way, so I just used the arm and leg pieces of the samurai armor. And now for my weapons. Since she has ice as her main ability, I of course will go for a frostbite build. She also uses a fencing sword with the moveset of a katana, which leaves me with 2 options. The first one being the frozen needle, which I can pick up at the King's Realm ruins. But for that I have to fight a royal revenant. And if you don't know what a revenant is, they are multi-legged brutal monsters with insane attacks, can literally teleport, shoot poison. Their only weaknesses are healing spells, and since I didn't feel like destroying my nerves this early on in the challenge, I picked option 2, which was the Nagakiba. Now that I have my main weapon, let's speak about some other attacks she has. The first one is coming from a scene where Esdeath storms and ice spikes grow from the ground, which reminds me of the Hoarfrost Stomp Ash of War, which I can use on the Nagakiba. The next ability she has is a move where she produces a lot of ice darts and fires them. The first thing I thought of was the sorcery Carrion Phalanx, but since it didn't do frost damage I couldn't use it. But luckily I wasn't out of options. You see, there actually is a spell that performs very similar to Great Glintstone Shard, but it deals frost damage. I'm of course talking about the Glintstone Ice Crack. The next sorcery I'm going to use is the Zamer Ice Storm, which creates a big blizzard around me, but I only can acquire that spell after I reach the mountaintops of the giants. Having these spells means I need a staff to cast spells, and I went with the Academy Glintstone staff because there are no staffs that boost cold sorceries, as far as I know, so I might as well go with one that looks okayish. And I'm saying okayish because my favorite staff from looks wise is the Carrion Regal Scepter. But since I don't want to farm runes until I have intelligence level 60, I'm going to go with this one. The last item I'm going to use are the sleep pots, because she has an ability where she can freeze time for a short moment. So I figured that's the closest I'm going to get to that. After awakening in Limgrave, the first thing I did was talking to the worst fucking horse dealer in the whole of Elden Ring, because the horse is dog. To get the Nagakiba, I had to complete Yura's questline, which means I headed in front of Patch's cave to be invaded by the bloody finger Nereges and let Yura help me. After he carried me, I talked to him and headed right to the next meeting spot, which was at the Raya Lucaria Academy gate. Now you could think that this challenge run is over right now, because I have to defeat Margit and Morgott to access Lernia, which I cannot do because I don't have any allowed weapons. But there actually is a way to completely skip Stormvale Castle, and you don't even have to fight anyone. You just follow this bridge, jump down here, and here we go. First obstacle overcome. The rest was really easy. I just snatched the Academy gate key from the sleepy dragon and went through the gate. For the next part of his questline, I had to help him defeat the Ravenmount assassin, which wasn't that easy, me still being level 1, but I managed to get it done. Now for the last part of his questline. I had to get to the second church of America, which was on the Altus Plateau. That means I have to get the 2 parts of the Dectus medallion, which wasn't that hard. Now I just head to the second church of America, where I find Yura dying on the ground, defeated by Eleanor. And after he dies I can pick up the Nagakiba. Great, now that I have my primary weapon, and after leveling up to meet the requirements, I was able to wield it. Then I fought Ghost Loretta, and had access to Ranni's quest and, more importantly, Selivus' quest. And I also thought I needed to fight Loretta to get the scarab that carries Hoarfrost Stomp, but I actually didn't. Now that I have my katana fully equipped and somewhat upgraded, it was time to fight Morgott, which wasn't hard, but I still rolled off the cliff once. Before fighting Morgott, I got the green dog talisman for some extra stamina regeneration. This was actually my first Godric fight where I wasn't over leveled. That means I never fully learned his moveset, but it didn't take me long to kill him anyways. Next up, Renala and her ex-husband's puppy dog. And let's be honest, the dog can be more of a challenge than Renala, as she is the weakest remembrance boss in the game. So I first tried her. Easy first try, easy. I grabbed the first half of the Halictree medallion from some weird old dude cosplaying as a jar. Whatever he wants to accomplish by that. Then I spoke with the holograms in Ranni's Rise and did a small part of Selivus' questline to unlock his spells and get the Glintstone Ice Crack plus Freezing Mist. I yet had to pick up the Academy Glintstone staff and level my intelligence to level 28 to use it. I also cheesed a certain tree sentinel with Freezing Mist because you can use it the same way as you can Poison Mist, and he won't aggro, just keep a little more distance. And yes, I also used Poison Mist. I then entered the capital city. I tried Goldray, but in the end I decided to grab the noble traveling clothes, as they came closest to Esdeath's real outfit. And I tell you, it really helped against Goldray, because after I got the clothes, he was third try. After his death, I picked the Winged Insignia Sword Talisman up and tried Morgott. This fight took me longer than I expected, because he's constantly jumping around and always throws his daggers when I want to heal. I also switched from the Academy Glintstone staff to the Astrologer staff, because it required less int and so I could use the additional levels for vigor and strength. So, the strategy I went with was, I would use Morgott's Shackle at the start and proc first Frostbite. Then I would keep my distance and cast my spells whenever there was an opening. After the first Frostbite was over, I reused his Shackle and procced Frostbite again, which also starts his second phase. While he's on the ground, I would spam Glintstone Ice Crack, and then I just kept my distance until I ran out of mana and had to finish him with Naga Kiba. Now that I had the mountain region unlocked, I picked up Zamer Ice Storm, looked at the requirements and thought, nope, not gonna use that at all. I also picked the Smithing Stone minor spell bearing up and upgraded my Naga Kiba to plus 19. I actually was able to second try a Fire Giant without using any flasks. But now it was time to sacrifice my horse dealer and set the earth tree aflame.
The one who walks alongside flame shall one day meet the road of destined death. Goodbye.
After waking up in Farum Azula, I speedrun all the graces until I reached one of my most hated bosses, the Godskin Duo. And oh boy, this was a struggle. Because the strategy was to throw sleep pots at each of them and get them to take a nap. Then I would poise break Fatty and get him into his second phase, where he was supposed to roll against the pillar and I would spam Hoarfrost Stomp until he stops. Then I would just finish him. Next, I would get Skinny back to sleep and repeat the procedure. But that's just the driest theory. In praxis, Skinny would always dodge the sleep pots, and that had two effects. First, me going crazy, and secondly, me needing to farm sleep pots. But instead of continuing to destroy my patience and nerves, I instead went for Commander Niall. The success of that was based on if the bewitching branches worked or not, because they sometimes would just not work. But with the help of Niall's own troops I was able to do it. I would go far enough away for him to do his jump attack, and after dodging that I would get one hit in, rinse and repeat. I also got a nice poise break at the end, which sealed his fate. Did not take as long as I thought it would. But still was frustrating enough to see the branches not working, even though the enemy NPC was clearly in the range. But hey, now I have both halves of the Halictree medallion. Very nice, very nice. Okay kids, mommy is here and it's time for a nap. Now again Godskin Duo. First getting Fatty Snoozy, then getting Skinny Snoozy. Now poise break Fatty and get its HP low. And like this. Then running away because both are awake. Aha! Getting Fatty and Skinny Snoozy. Killing Skinny. Killing Fatty. While Fatty summons Skinny, put Fatty to sleep. Okay. He summons him and just leaves me standing here. Fight Skinny without sleep. Skinny summoning Fatty even though he was already there. Killing Skinny. It's only you, Fatty. Come here. Killing Fatty while he summons Skinny. Fucking... Victory tastes so good. Victory never... What the actual... Why are you here? What? Excuse me? Excuse me, your fight is over. Excuse me, your fight is over. Why are you here? You are not supposed to be here. Why are you here? At least you can't summon your friends. No, just... Why are you even... It makes no sense. Why are you here? Now, after leveling my weapon to plus 25, it was time to destroy Radahn. Because I'm just somewhat over-leveled. I mean, it really wasn't a challenge. Level 25 katana. Sure, that's of course a challenge. No, it is not. Oh, and also getting Fingerslayer Blade, killing Rudolph, the blue-nosed reindeer, killing Baleful Shadow, and killing Esdeath, the natural born. Easy first try. No sweat. Get this. It's one of the most annoying enemies in the whole game, in my opinion. Always teleporting, always grabbing, always flinging you around. But I actually got him first try. Am I over leveled at level 100 and plus 25? Maybe. Do I care? No. Too bad for him, huh? Now I started Millicent's questline by killing the best dirty needle dealer in the lands between and letting her poke herself with exactly that needle after I gave it to a homeless guy who did something with it. Next I picked the curse mark of death up because I need that for Fia's questline. 3 sentinel cheese. Oh, it was time for Fia's questline, which had me fight another duo fight. But this one wasn't too bad, because the second gargoyle only starts attacking once the first one is below 50% HP. Then I just had to kill that first gargoyle as fast as possible, because that way it would never come to a real 2v1. Easy. Yeah, it did take me a few tries, but hey, it's not that bad. Especially for a duo fight. And with no healing items left. And with not being able to proc frostbite on them. That's actually a lot of exceptions. Now it was time to kill the weird group of people that simmed for Fia's feet and wouldn't let me get to her. So I did what had to be done. Then I again slept with her, and we even had the same dream where I killed the ancient Licht dragon Placidusax. Anyway, next. There aren't that many left, are there? There's only Maliketh, Placidusax, the final 3, and Malenia is. That's not that much. And what is better than killing one ancient dragon? Exactly, killing the Dragonlord himself. There we go, first poise break. Yes. Still one of the best fights in the whole of Elden Ring, I like it. It's just one of the most cinematic ones. I don't think I can get another poise break in. He's taking himself too much time. But maybe. Ooh, maybe no. That's the perfect that's like the situation for a poise break. Or a proc, that's it. Here we go. Very nice fight. He even did the slam lightning into the ground and explode in an epic fashion. That's good. Because last time I fought him, he didn't do that. Anyway, let's go. Next remembrance boss is Maliketh on the list. Next up, I went to Ordina, lighted a few candles for my prayers against Maliketh, brutally murdered an Albinauric archer.
Fatality.
Just a little bit brutal, but no, not brutal. And went to the Halig tree. Great speedrun. And then it was time for another boss. This time on the menu, Horse Lady. I don't know what made me fume more, the stupid battle mages or Loretta's spell spamming. Oh well, these two factors combined made me take more tries than I want to admit, but I still managed to do it while being almost out of flasks. Killing another skinny and committing the most cardinal sin of them all, betraying Millicent for her prosthesis. And now it was time to kill Maliketh, the Black Blade. You see, I actually hate Maliketh's first phase more than his second phase, because you have a lot less openings where you can attack. Also, his attack speed is much higher than in his second phase. Since I also need at least 8 Crimson Flasks for his second phase, I needed to be very careful in his first phase, which resulted in me jumping off because I lost too many HP right off the bat. And the last reason I like his second phase more is because I do more damage than in the first phase. That was a lot of work. But that's also the first time I soloed him without using ranged magic. So that's another achievement for me. But now let's enjoy the cutscene.
Farewell it is then.
After waking up in the bird capital, I immediately fought the yapping master himself. Little piece of shit. Stop yapping. Only me. Stop yapping. Stop yapping. Gee. And keep your dirty armor to yourself, please. Thank you very much. Next up, the Grab Me Daddy himself. Which, in my opinion, is one of the best fights in Elden Ring. Because he has strong attacks, but he's also not too resistant and has enough openings so it doesn't get to a catch me if you can game. Oh shit. Give me a poise break. Oh shit, too bad. Oh shit. Oh shit. Whew. Nice. Nice. Why are my hands getting numb every time I fight his second phase? It's so weird. Now anyway. Such a nice fight. I really enjoyed it. One of the best fights in the whole of Elden Ring. Still, I didn't change my mind about that. More strength, thank you. Only 2 bosses left actually. Elden Beast and Malenia. Oh, of course. And this guy there. I forgot his name. Shit. You remember the 2 exceptions I mentioned at the beginning? Yes, this is the first one. I'm going to use the Serpent Killer, even though it doesn't inflict frostbite. And with that weapon, I was able to deal insane damage. Easy. Get killed by ice spikes, by a giant ice pillar. Easy. Level up, more strength. Strength is the weapon for everything, I say. Now I decided it was time for the final boss, and I did surprisingly well against him. You're not getting up. This could be a try. This could be a try. Not moving, are you? Easy. One thing I want to have now is this. I'm not gonna use charged attacks that often, is what I wanted to say. 2k damage per attack series, that's not bad. Oh shit. Nice attack, buddy, I guess. Now the 3-star, the exactly, the 3 rings. Uno, dos, tres, easy. Stamina regen and let's go. Oy, oy, oy. Perish from this plane. I am victorious. This is the first time killing Elden, Beast and Radagon together without any summons. I left Mohg and Malenia purposefully for the last, because I forgot Mohg and wanted to fight the hardest boss at the end. So I also have the second exception for Mohg, because Esdeath is a sadist who loves to bully and hurt people, so I bullied Mohg, which means I'm searching for an excuse to use summons. But here you go, a Mohg bully. Everyone needs their companion. And people like him don't deserve an honorable fight, so yeah. And now, it was time for the boss that will know her first defeat. My strategy was to be extremely aggressive and stagger her as often as possible. Then trigger Waterfall Dance by shooting an ice grenade at her, and then it was time to be aggressive again. Very good. Still no poise break though. Oh fuck. Jesus, roll. Another good thing about her fight is that the frostbite I proc wears off extremely fast, which means I can proc frostbite over and over again. Who needs health anyway? Die! Why is this? Is that like a mechanic they have implemented? That's what I call a combo. Let's see if I can run enough. There is indeed space enough to run. Phew, lucky me. Let's heal. Oh my god. Is this it? Whew.
Extraordinary. The mark of a true lord.
Yes, thank you. I already defeated the Die Mother. It's insane.
Dear Mikola. Oh, dearest Mikola. My brother. I'm sorry. I finally met my match.
I'm happy. That's my first time soloing 99% of all the remembrance bosses. The only one I didn't solo was Mohg, but she's an exception, so... That second poise break came unexpected. First I thought about going to her front, but I thought she's not gonna be able to be critical after when I got around, so I just took her back. I just took her from behind. So, here we are. Next to the fractured America. And I guess this is the end. Since Esdeath is a brutal killer who has a fetish for torturing people, I'm not going to choose the peaceful ending, but the ending of the Deathroot Prince.
Of how a tarnished
Well, this is the end of the Esdeath challenge. I hope you enjoyed it. I have personally had a lot of fun doing this challenge, and it's certainly not going to be the last challenge. I already have a few more in mind, and I hope you liked it too, and I would be happy about a subscription and a like.